Earlier I stressed the importance of coming to biofeedback with the right mindset. We spent quite a lot of time in the earlier modules just exploring what that mindset is. In Module 1, we looked at the stress mindset, which is your view of what stress means. Do you see it as a threat or as a challenge? Do you believe that stress is harmful and therefore to be avoided, or that the stress response is your body's rising to a challenge, giving you more energy and boosting your performance? And we saw the importance of your stress mindset because, positive or negative, it tends to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Stress mindset is important when it comes to biofeedback. If you're seeing biofeedback as a way of avoiding stress or as a way of inoculating yourself against anxiety, then I don't think it's going to work for you. Rather, biofeedback is a tool for working with stress, for keeping yourself in the zone of good stress, where stress is working for you and you're maintaining your positive stress mindset. And it's also a tool for strengthening your recovery from stress, so building resilience. Then we talked about the quicksand trap, which means situations where you actually make things worse by trying too hard in some sense. And the quicksand trap is a real danger in biofeedback practice. In muscle tension biofeedback, that would mean that you try hard to relax and the graph actually goes up, not down. It does happen all too easily. In Module 2, we talked about the mindfulness mindset as being in some way the antidote of the quicksand dynamic. It's this attitude of holding a purpose, but without hanging anything on actually achieving it, as though you were playing a game. In the earlier modules, I introduced a couple of models as reframes, or new ways of seeing the challenge. The dual intelligence model is about seeing two different sides of the mind. This other part, that I'm calling body intelligence, is where the resources that you need truly lie. And quicksand happens when the thinking part tries to do something that's best left to the body. So when it comes to muscle tension, it's the body intelligence that knows how to relax. I want you to remember that if you find it difficult to let go when you first try the biofeedback. Your body already knows how. It's not about trying harder, it's not about figuring it out or problem solving, it's about how to allow the body to do it for you. The new question is, how do we engage the body intelligence if not by willpower? I'll say more about that in part 3. And I want to return to the point that I made earlier about feeling a sense of safety. Before you can let go, you have to feel it's safe to do so. If you don't feel safe, right down at this deep level, if the body doesn't feel safe, then it's going to be very difficult to let go. And even if it's possible, it's not going to feel good. Again, this is a point that I'll return to later. Another model is the human performance curve. The key idea that this gets across is that it's a matter of balanced application. Here's where we want to be, peak performance, and we often get stuck over here, heading downhill because we're trying too hard. That's the quicksand trap again there. What we need is two complementary faculties. Firstly, effort and the ability to rouse up our energy, and this takes us to the right. It's very important to have that capacity, but it's not enough on its own, because at times we need to come back this way. This is relaxing, reducing arousal, letting go, or accepting. Our culture teaches us to be pretty good at this one, but not so much this one, moving back to the left. Learning to relax muscle tension is an aspect of this leftward faculty. The expression letting go is interesting because we can use it literally or physically, but more often than not we use it in a psychological sense. So we speak of letting go of anger, or letting go of resentment, or letting go of fear. But this is not merely metaphorical. Hopefully by now you're starting to see that letting go of resentment has a physical component, which is letting go of muscle tension. If you can't release muscle tension, it's going to be so much harder to let go of an emotion. For example, to let go of a grudge, or to forgive other people, or even yourself. That's because to really feel an emotion in the first place, you have to embody it, typically as tension or in part as tension.